Hello student, very good morning to all of you. How are you? I hope you all are happy, healthy and fine at home. Do you remember what were we discussing yesterday? I think yesterday we have just started as a chapter number 3 and name of that chapter is a rearrangement reaction. What do you mean by the rearrangement reaction? What type of the rearrangement involve? How the migration group migrate, or how atom or group are rearranged in the rearrangement reaction that we have discussed in our previous lecture. And today what we are going to discuss, we are going to continue that rearrangement reaction in a extended manner. So according to as a definition of rearrangement reaction in organic chemistry are those in which an atom or group of atom, that is a functional group, alkyl or aryl, double bond migrate within the molecule or from one molecule to another is known as a rearrangement reaction. And in our previous lecture we have discussed what do you mean by M is a migrating group or atom, A is a origin of migration or migration source, or B is called as a migration terminus, and different type of the rearrangement reaction, anisotropic, catianotropic, what type of the rearrangement reaction are belong to anisotropic, what kind of the rearrangement reaction are generally termed as catianotropic, or what type of the reaction may be as a radical, and what type of the migrating group migrate or atom may be migrate like as a carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen or sulfur, that and the general as well as in the while studying as a rearrangement reaction, what are the important factor, what are the aspect of that rearrangement reaction. Mainly two important points are matter the rearrangement reaction. Number one is a mechanism and number second one is a stereochemistry. And mechanism means what? Step by step description of the events that are taking place during the reaction is known as a mechanism. And the stereochemistry, chemical aspect, provide us how the orientation or the position of that different atom, how orient or rearranges in the carbon framework or carbon skeleton, that is known as stereochemistry. And today what we are going to discuss, today we are going to discuss rearrangement involving migration to the electron deficient carbon, specifically via carbocation. Various intermediate are formed, and what kind of the intermediate are formed, and as we know that intermediate are the transition state, and that collapses into as a product and we are getting as a stable product. So that rearrangement involving migration to the electron deficient. Electron deficient means what? There are less number of electron present on that species, and that type of the species are known as electron deficient. And various reactions which lead to the formation of carbocation intermediate can be listed as follows. There are the different or the various rearrangement, various reaction which lead to the formation of carbocation intermediate. Here, number one, solvent induced substitution and elimination reaction, that is a solulysis reaction. And number two, protonation of functional group. Generally, functional groups are like alcoholic, ether, alkenes, alkynes in acidic condition, because these reactions are generally taking place or carried out in a different medium such as acidic, basic or neutral, depending upon the starting material and the reagent used. Number three, decomposition of diazonium salt formed by diazotization of amino group with nitrous acid in presence of hydrochloric acid, and carbocations formed can further undergo following basic type of reactions such as elimination of proton, combination with nucleophile, then rearrangement of structures, and this is illustrated with the example of reaction of 1-aminopropane with sodium nitrite NaNO2, we know that, and dilute hydrochloric acid. The resultant diazonium cation gives carbocation with elimination of nitrogen. And let us see here how the rearrangement involving migration to the electron deficient carbocation, how the carbocation formed as an intermediate with the help of one example which we are going to discuss over here. Generally, suppose we have here we are going to consider one of the examples CS3, then CH2, NH2, when it is treated with NaNO2 sodium nitrite in presence of dilute HCl, and it gives the product CS3, CH2OH, as well as you may get here CS3, CHOH and CS3. So now these are kind of the possibility of that product, as well as we may get here CS3, CH double bond CH2. There are the different kind of the product are observed during this reaction. You may get this type of the product, propene, then there may be as a 1-propanol, third is a 2-propanol. Such kind of the different products once we are getting. Here how we are getting this type of the products, let us see here. Here let us see as a mechanism how we are getting that type of the, here we know that CS3, then CH2, NH2. Before that, before writing as a mechanism, first let us see here the sodium, this NaNO2 plus HCl, this is known as a sodium nitrite. Remember, nitrate is a different and nitrate is a different. NO3 is called as a nitrate, when NO2 is known as a nitrite. Remember, these are the inorganic materials. Now when sodium nitrate react with HCl, form HNO2 and plus sodium chloride. Don't think about that side product, but main product is this one, that we can call it nitrous acid. This is known as nitrous acid. And this reaction, this is a base amine, as we know that the organic compound which containing nitrogen atom are found to be basic in nature. Why they shows as a basic property? The reason behind it, nitrogen atom, heteroatom containing as a lone pair, and according to as a Lewis acid base theory, it has the ability to donate the electron, lone pair of electron, and therefore it is act as an base over here. Now let's see here the mechanism we are trying to show over here. CH3, CH2, CH2, then NH2, then this nitrous acid we are writing like this, HO, then N double bond O. Nitrous acid, hydroxyl group type of the compound is there. Now the lone pair which is present on nitrogen atom, it is going to attack on this nitrogen, and there is a elimination of water molecule taking place here, H2O, and the resulting compound or the resultant compound we are getting here CS3, CH2, CH2, here NH, then N double bond O, like this. This is an intermediate form. Now look at here, lone pair present over there, it forming as a double bond, and there is a shifting of that hydrogen atom I am showing over here in this manner here. So this forming as a double bond here, and this hydrogen atom shifted from here to here. So we will be getting here CS3, then CH2, CH2, N double bond N, and OH. And in the very next step, what is happening here? The lone pair which is present on nitrogen atom forming as a triple bond, and there is a elimination or departure of hydroxyl group, and we will be getting here CH3, then CH2, CH2, N, then triple bond N, positive charge comes on the middle nitrogen atom because it is exceed as a bond here. Generally nitrogen has 3 bond, but here 3 and 1 is 4, and now there is the driving force behind it. The nitrogen atom is a very stable one, so it goes in the atmosphere. So there is a elimination of N2, and we are going to get here CH3, CH2, CH2, positive charge over here, and whenever the positive charge comes on that oxygen atom or those organic compound carrying as a positive charge, that organic species are generally termed as a carbocation. So now once you got as a carbocation, the nature of this carbocation will be primary carbocation, as we know that primary carbon atom has a positive charge, and therefore it is termed as a primary carbocation. And once, let me clean the board over here. Now let's see here how we are getting different type of the product as we have mentioned just now. Here I am showing this CH3, CH2, CH2, positive charge here. This is a primary carbocation. When primary carbocation loses the proton, when hydrogen atom is lost from here, suppose let us see here how, and we are getting here CH3, then CH double bond CH2, that we got as a one propene, or we can call it as a propene only, right? And now this is a first case when there is a elimination of H plus here, elimination of H plus taking place over here. Now in the second case, when it is treated with water, if you pour this reaction mixture on crushed diet, the resulting compound form will be CS3, CH2, CH2 and OH here. And now in the next step, very next step, rearrangement reaction takes place. Rearrangement of what? Now when this proton shifted from this side to this side, taking its bonding pair along with it, you will get here CS3, then CH, then CS3. Now positive charge comes on the middle carbon atom. It is known as secondary carbocation. And if you remember the stability of the carbocation, it is always stability order should be tertiary, secondary and primary. Means tertiary carbocation is more stable than the secondary than the primary, and if you compare between primary and secondary, it is a more stable, and therefore then once again if you add as a water, what do you get? You will be end up with CH, then OH, CS3. This would be the secondary alcohol. So in this, thus a number of products are possible here just by forming as a carbon-carbon, just by forming as a carbocation. Means here the rearrangement involving migration to the electron deficient carbon. So number of possibilities are there, number of products we have got over here. So here in this case primary carbocation form rearranges to secondary carbocation to give the further product. And the driving force to such a rearrangement is to form a stable carbocation, and thus the carbocation is stabilized by dispersion of positive charge by electron donating effects, and such as inductive, mesomeric or resonance effect. And now let's look at the stability of carbocation follows the order. Stability of the carbocation follows the order that we are going to discuss here. Let us see here what we are going to, what we are learning or what we are discussing here. The stability of carbocation follows the order. The stability of carbocation, the stability of carbocation follows the order, stability of the carbocation follows the order. And here generally I am showing some of the compound which I am writing here. So remember here this is a CH2, and as we know that benzene ring and that CH2 which has a positive charge, so by electron dispersion it get stabilized. This is known as a benzyl cation. Benzyl cation are highly stable one. Benzyl, this is a benzyl system. And next one I am showing here CS3 CH double bond CH not. Here we are writing this CH2 double bond CH, then CH2 positive charge over here, and this positive charge gets stabilized due to the conjugation of carbon-carbon, and this species is known as a allyl system. And so if you compare between these two system, one is a benzyl system, another one is a allyl system. Among these two systems, what do you think? Which one will be the more stable one? The most stable one is this one, because this carbocation is well stabilized due to the resonance effect, which is given by that benzene nucleus. There is a alternative double bond, so number of resonating structure is obtained, so that compound is a more stable. Number of resonating structure, more is the stability of that particular molecule, and therefore this system is more stable than this one. Now let us see the next one. Next would be this one, CS3, then here CS3 and CS3, carbocation is formed over there. It is known as a tertiary carbocation, or we can call it as a tertiary butyl, this one, tertiary butyl group, and then followed by this one CS3, then CH, we can write CS3 positive charge, that is a secondary carbocation, or what we can call it as this one is a isopropyl cation. And now followed by this one CS3 CH2 positive charge, and this species you all know this is a ethyl, and followed by means the least stable is a CS3 methyl group. This one is known as a methyl group. So in a competitive exam, because we are now a day facing as a COVID-19 pandemic, so there may be a question on objective type, which of the following is the most stable one, or gives the stability order of this carbocation. This is a stability order of the carbocation. So this benzene is a more stable than allylic system, then the tertiary butyl, then the secondary, and then the this may be as a primary. This is also as a primary but ethyl, and that would be the methyl group. So in this way we have discussed the stability order of that carbocation, because it is rearranged. Why this? Just now we have seen why primary carbocation is converted into as a secondary carbocation. What would be the driving force behind it for rearrangement reaction? Why rearrangement reaction occurs? Remember, the main or the basic point or the fundamental point regarding that rearrangement reaction, there must be a driving force behind it, then and then rearrangement reactions are possible. Otherwise there is a plain reaction. Rearrangement reaction, there must be the driving force behind the rearrangement reaction. In this particular case, there is a driving force is a evolution of nitrogen atom, because that nitrogen atom is a very stable, and due to this reason when the nitrogen atom goes along departs from the intermediate, it could form as a carbocation. When it depart, it taking its bonding lone pair of electron along with it and leaving, and that's why the carbon atom is experiencing the electron deficient. There is a sextet is there, means 6 electron present on that carbon atom, and therefore it is known as a carbocation. And that carbocation may be in a different form or in a various form, and that various forms are shown, various systems are shown here, benzyl, allyl, then tertiary. These carbocations are well stabilized due to the resonance effect or the inductive effect, because there is a electron dispersion to stabilize that carbocation, and that could be the driving force behind it. So these are the different. Then carbocation rearrangement can be further categorized as rearrangement without change in carbon skeleton of the molecule. Number 2, is a allylic rearrangement. Number 3, rearrangement with or which change in a carbon skeleton, because while rearrangement of atom, the orientation of atom in a space become as a different one before the reaction and the after the reaction. The position of the atom or group, or maybe as there is a change in the carbon skeleton, or in some time there is a without change in the carbon skeleton, only position of that particular atom or group are changing, so that is there. Then carbocation rearrangement without change in carbon skeleton of the molecule, that we have already seen here. Let us see here, that is a 1,2 shift carbocation rearrangement without change in carbon skeleton of the molecule. That point we are going to discuss over here. So let's see that point. Let me clean the board first here, and let us see over here. Now let us see the carbocation rearrangement. First one, carbocation rearrangement. Carbocation rearrangement, carbocation rearrangement without change, without change in carbon skeleton, without change in carbon skeleton, without change in carbon skeleton of the molecule, carbon skeleton of the molecule, carbon skeleton of the molecule. That point we are going to discuss here. Carbocation rearrangements without change in carbon skeleton of the molecule. Cation, for example, 1 propyl cation rearranges to 1,2 propyl cation by migration of a hydrogen atom with its bonding pair of electron from adjacent carbon atom to carbon bearing positive charge, and this is called as 1,2 hydride shift. What is that? So in our previous lecture we already seen that CH, then H I am writing here, then CH2 positive charge over there, and now what is happening here? This is a positive charge. This is a primary carbocation. When this hydrogen atom, this is a hydride we can call it, and hydride shifted from here to here. So it taking its, so this is known as a 1,2 hydride shift, 1,2 hydride shift, 1,2 shift or 1,2 hydride shift you can call it. And then when this goes, it taking its bonding pair of electron along with, and it is, we will get here CH positive charge over here, then CH3, right? And this is known as a secondary carbocation. Now in this case, carbocation rearrangements without change in carbon skeleton of the molecule. See here, without changing the carbon, there are 3 carbon atom in the straight chain. Here also has a 3 carbon atom in the straight chain. No change in the carbon skeleton. Only here is a hydrogen atom. Hydride is shifted. When that hydrogen goes from atom number 1 to atom number 2, or from one atom to another atom, or another must be as the adjacent, therefore it is known as a 1,2 hydride shift, or you just call it as 1,2 shift. While shifting that hydrogen atom, the driving force behind it, there is a formation of secondary carbocation, and as we know that secondary carbocation is more stable as compared to the primary carbocation, and therefore there is no change in carbon skeleton. Here 3 carbon atom in the straight chain. Here also has a 3 carbon atom in the straight chain. There is no change in the carbon skeleton. It is remains as it is, right? And therefore we can say this, and the driving force for such rearrangement in the formation of is the formation of stable carbocation. The driving force for such rearrangement is the formation of the stable carbocation. Now let us see the allylic rearrangement. First one we have seen as a carbocation rearrangements without change in carbon skeleton, and now in the second one is a allylic rearrangement. In the allylic rearrangement also, let's see here example only how it can be changed over here. Allylic rearrangement. I think allylic rearrangement as well as carbocation rearrangement with change in carbon skeleton, that we will discuss in our next lecture. Till then, have a nice day. Thank you.